So welcome back to the ESL ESEA Pro League. Hopefully we didn't keep you waiting too long, and the action is certainly on the way. However, these two teams are in slightly different forms currently. A couple of stand-ins here or there. Smiths will not be present for Titan, and HellRaisers have a little bit of a switch-up as well.
Yeah, they don't have Mo today. They actually used him yesterday, and then before that they weren't using him, so SCII is going to be back in the lineup. Obviously, Schneider is present as well. And yeah, as you said, it's going to be Younes, or UU as he's calling himself now, for Titan, who's a Belgian player, plays for Team Platinum. Sort of one of the sort of tier 2 teams here, so they're bringing him in the mix. We'll have to see how he performs. Yeah,
I can imagine he'll do relatively well. I can imagine for the side looking at his previous stats, he certainly seems to be able to hold his own. Just checking on HLTV, I wasn't personally aware of the player myself, so have to see where he does on his debut. It is a fairly big game for Titan, bearing in mind they finally got themselves in a relatively good position on the overall kind of leaderboard and rankings thus far in the season. So they need to start getting these wins on their belt, and on paper you'd assume this should be their match. But as you noted, there are some big victories here coming in for HellRaisers.
Yeah, that's right. In recent times, at least, on this map. So, I mean, with all the turmoil going on, sometimes it seems like HellRaisers don't even know who they're bringing in towards these games. So, this time, of course, we have the lineup there. Obviously, Lambert is going to be coaching. He's going to be jumping into spec in a moment and allowing, of course, the rest of his teammates to be here. So it is going to be SCII, Oscar, Schneider, Angel, and Kusha for HellRaisers. And as Lauren sort of pointed out, Scream, Existence, RPK, Shocks, and UU here for Titan. Now, Titan, the possibility of a top 4 berth is present. It is possible, but they definitely can't afford to be dropping games like this. So must win this game and must definitely sort of have a strong last couple of weeks. And honestly, they're in the mix.
Yeah, and it's seeming to come in at the right time as Shocks and, well, it was Smiths having big games, is certainly paying off for them. However, this map is going to be a bit of a test. As said, Titan sometimes getting challenged quite readily on this. I think it was SK actually had a fairly good match against them on here. So let's hope for Titan's sake they've kind of shaken that monkey off their back and they can kind of start playing a little more to the caliber you'd expect. We'll find out very soon as they are still in warm-up. But I'm looking forward to seeing how HellRaisers play this one out. They also have a lot of movement on the line and they want to get away from that kind of bottom couple of teams, I guess, is certainly one of the main factors here. So I have to wait and see how that goes down. Yeah,
and as I said, today they can actually rise up quite a few places if all goes really well for them. It's going to be a CIS derby later on against Na'Vi as well, which is going to be super important, for HellRaisers. And a tough one at that. Obviously, they'll be taking on Penta before that. So Titan here as well, we were remembering, of course, their solid comeback. It was a very solid comeback against NIP on Dust 2. Their CT side was very, very hard to break down. Honestly, they've won 4 out of 5 of their last games, and they've only been playing Cache in the ESL ESEA Pro League recently, so haven't really played it in any other leagues and stuff like that. Obviously, they don't get to choose when they play it, they just play it. So we're into the knife round here. It's going to be HellRaisers up against Titan, and let's see how things start to unfold.
So just a reminder, when these two faced last, HellRaisers actually did win that one. It was on Overpass during the Face It League not too long ago. But still, a bit of a different day, different lineups. So you can't really read too much into that, and it looks fairly close in the knife round so far. We're not seeing anyone break ahead. It does seem as though it's down to the 1v1, and Existence will win it out. So Titan will get to choose side. I can imagine it'll be a CT-sided start for them, and let's see how they kind of build off the back of it. I'm curious to see where they actually put Younes here. Oh, sure, I'm going to call him You, as he is tagged up as You at the moment, and see how he plays into this. If Titan play a very similar role to how they've been playing, if they switch it up because of the stand-in, kind of interested to see how that pans out. But still, looking at HellRaisers, I did see that Tech 9 being purchased, and that's Kuchu who's going to be running that one. So let's see where he takes that toward.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how they work around the lack of Smiths as well when it comes down to who's going to be picking up the AWP. We've seen Scream do it. We know Shocks is very capable of playing that role here, so Titan, don't need to think about it now for at least the moment, but it will be an issue later on here. But for the most part, HellRaisers look like they're angling in towards A here to start things off. Just one smoke there. SCII has that one in. That one gets thrown instantly.
Yeah, but there's a relative stack. 3 players for Titan. And all of HellRaisers going out. Kucha trying to be the kind of clean-up player. RPK gets overwhelmed, but will they expect Existence? Waiting out, he fluffs the shot. He finally picks up Angel, but that bomb is going down. He quickly tries to repeat. The bomb plant gets cancelled out, and Schneider picks up the double swiftly, and HellRaisers overtake the site.
Oscar going straight in there. Schneider combining with him nicely, and Scream is forced back out of the way. The bomb is planted, and he's up against 4 players, and it's going to be a very swift end for Scream. Good work there from Oscar, actually. He sort of strolled onto the side, picked up 2 very early kills. And that definitely opened things up now as Titan was sort of trying to rotate towards that site. But there we go, HellRaisers with a pistol here straight away, going into rifles for 3 players. To see how much utility that will afford them still. Schneider only is going to have a grenade here. Have enough at least.
Yeah, and I want to see where that molly gets put towards the end in the hands of Angel, if it's something they've got planned here for maybe the afterplant. And it looks like Titan are doing a bit of a stack down mid. 2 players pushing up, Scream being one of them, Shox being the other. Angel trying to go to town with that Mac 10, not going to find much out of it first. And Shox is getting close, but Scream even closer, going to find Schneider's head. And Scream looking for that boost up and over.
A little bit risky there for Schneider to come forward so far, especially with Titan, a team that like to, what we've seen, like to shove up mid on Case at least. And Scream now trying to get a little bit cheeky, but Kusha is going to be there in mid. They hadn't locked that one down completely. And here's Sticker now as well. HellRaisers are still a little bit rattled by those first exchanges, and they yet to sort of commit to any sort of site here. They might even try another boost, but Existence is going to be keeping his eyes on that one with the Scout.
I was about to say, it was a little bit dangerous then. Schneider did actually have the rifle, but it seems to be recovered by HellRaisers. Now Titan looking for more. Shox is going to find Oscar. That's already 2 players down. This is going to get a little more dangerous here. And they have recovered the rifle. Shox does get the AK. Kucha trying to remove it from his hands, but he's not willing out in this one. Shox going to find Angel, and Shox goes in on this one. That's 2 back-to-back, leaving just 1 man standing for HellRaisers.
Very impressive by Shox there as well. And Sticko's just been trying to harass Yu for the most part of that round over at A. And finally, the stand-in will be able to jump out and get that kill here as well. He'll pick himself up a Galil. Shox, of course, retaining that AK here, so a very profitable round for Titan, and that's what we've seen from them recently as well. That second round sort of buy-up, getting aggressive, 5-7 straight down mid. I mean, it wasn't a bad idea from Angel to have that Molotov. You could shake someone out of sandbags or try and, you know, clear some of those corners in mid, but HellRaisers seemed a little bit, I don't know, like they lacked direction in that round.
Yeah, they kind of just got caught up in mid then, and if you're on the buy, you might as well be kind of powerful with it, try and make something out of it. And even, I throw my mind back to Chris J, always trying to watch the counter boost from the back of the truck. They're not going to find much this time, however. Boosted up, they have to be careful. We are seeing the Deagles come through, the Tech 9 and the armor investment as well. So a relatively well invested round, but you holding them back well by A. But HellRaisers looking for this, and it looks like Titan have an idea why. Titan
have 3 players towards A as well. Shox is Screamer there. There's Oscar, though, very quickly taking down Yu. It's going to be pushed on towards the side here. Scream, can he hold him off? He does take down Schneider. Good headshot with the Famous there. He's got Sticko pushing around the corner. There's another one. He can't find the third. And the fire goes down as well as Oscar also on towards Existence here, and Titan now have to scrabble to get to this side.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough retake here. These guys are relatively well set up, but RPK just barrels in towards the forklift truck, and RPK isn't done just yet. He's on his second, looking for his third. Timing wasn't against him, but Kucha just flicks over and denies RPK the 3K and clutches the round out for HellRaisers. And now we've seen the turn of both tides. The second round being picked up by Titan just off the back of Shox in mid, and now we're seeing, you know, Oscar with that Deagle work coming out, Kucha to close down rounds. This is HellRaisers looking a little bit more switched on here.
Yeah, economically, this is also kind of awkward, as you can see from the buys here for both teams. Titan look like, again, they're going for their sort of force. It looks pretty similar to what they did in that second round. Here, Existence will be having that scout. So smoke and a flash and a grenade there as well for them. As Shox gets himself up in this corner here as well. Now, bear in mind, there is 2 Molotovs for HellRaisers, and Schneider has one in his hand. So Shox is going to be forced out of position there as well. He's just going to have to shift straight away. He should be gunned down. Sticko will pick him up.
And it's always the hard task being against a team with so much more money than you just... all that utility can be invested to clearing these corners as Angel trying to make some more bank there. Going to catch out you. And this mid-take going substantially better than last time. Existence and RPK, the last 2 standing here, going to be kind of cut out by smoke. And the bomb is looking towards A, and actually they're still watching this cross.
Well, Existence trying to work here from truck, and RPK takes down Schneider, but Kusha is too sharp with that quick double there as well. 2 for the round from him. I mean, we saw in the second round as well, Titan actually pushing up in mid, getting aggressive with those 5-7s. That was sort of rendered the push over the boost, and the Molotov to that corner would have rendered it useless anyway. But this time they go for a similar buy, but they sit well back on it, and Shox really, instead of being aggressive, is caught in the corner with a Molotov and just taken out instantly. Yeah, and it has forced Titan to kind of double up on this sort of slightly shoddier buy. And RPK going out for the challenge here. As Shox actually pushing forward once again towards mid. This worked out before, but not again. Surely not. Oh, Shox just fluffs his lines, and Angel takes him down. A little bit of respite finally for HellRaisers. That is about the epitome of Brass Ball's play, I think, really now. As Scream's just forced to look left, right, and center here. He's got men on his right and over towards the highway there as well. He's only got 16 health left, and it's just not going to be enough. A Sticker will easily be able to mow him down. And there's Angel as well, holding mid nicely. And Existence, well, he ceases to exist, and it's just RPK here. He's got a P250, but he's keeping himself well and truly out of the action here as well. Titan went from one passive force, one slightly more aggressive force, and neither of them really working out here at all.
No, Schneider will find the final kill coming in, and RPK goes down. The bomb Didn't actually get planted in the end there, so HellRaisers losing out on a touch of money that could have maybe supplemented them some more, but still, it will be time back on the buy, so they're in a much of a better situation here. And Shock's even going for the Zeus. Maybe feeling like he wants to push up mid again, try and find that, but let's find out SCII wants to use that later into this one, as we are seeing the Galil being sticked out on here by Styko, so maybe feeling confident in that, but let's see how HellRaisers now get into this one. Shocks will be tucking himself in here, playing it a little passively to begin with. Now has actually allowed Oscar some freedom.
Yeah, interesting that he's done that yet again, but there's RPK. On towards Schneider already. He's taken a fair bit of damage here in towards Checkers, and he backs around. There's smoke can be made, so Kusha won't be able to work through that one existence. He managed to spring the trap from Vent there, but wasn't able to get the kill. But it's still going to be enough at least to force Sticko away from that one. And HellRaisers down to 3 players. This is not looking so flash for him now, as they just sort of set up towards mid. There's some smoke in mid as well. Scream is just going to be able to control that one with fairly easily. Now he'll look at A. That bomb. Oh, nice. You pushing aggressively into A main as well. So really stripping HR of options here now. They might have to go for another A main push with 2.
Yeah, HellRaisers is being picked apart. You going to find another there. One man left standing for HellRaisers, and he does at least have the AK, but certainly outgunned in this instance. 45 seconds. Existence already working around his back. They know he's still working towards A at the very least, maybe towards mid, but RPK and you both watching this exit.
RPK is low here, so one decent shot from Sticko should be able to pick him up here. He's just going to try and tap at that truck, but little does he know that UU is up nice and close here. It's going to be a smoke, it's going to be a flash. And Sticko might actually try and get out of here. He only has 25 seconds left, so he might just be looking to stay alive a little bit longer, just checking his flank even. His existence actually opted to pull back in towards mid. And we're going to have another crack at it here.
He's trying to fake him out on the rotate, but they're having absolutely none of it, and Yu's going to lock him down at the door. Really well played. Nice discipline coming through from Titan then in the end. RPK and Yu both showing that off, and Yu picking up 3 that round. That little bit of an aggressive touch at the start, then falling back a little more passively really worked into their hands. But yeah, HellRaisers just got picked apart then. They lost out on the opening trades. Oscar kind of got caught in vents. The spray came in. He caught a nade early on. And one by one, they just kind of fell. But we are going to see the AWP coming out for Oscar. No AWP to be seen on Titan.
No, still not going for that one. Here, I guess, with the absence of Smiths as well, and maybe the financial side of things. No, they can't really afford it either. So, fair play, I guess, now is UU again. Got to smoke A main. Will he think about pushing here? But he can see Angel firing in the corner. He can at least see the bullets coming across here. So, he'd be crazy to get too much more aggressive. But he's not in the corner. He's just on the edge of this smoke. Trying to use that back corner now. Angel will flash this one. UU forced up into that little hidey hole in the corner.
I wonder if Angel's going to spray that again, because that's what he was trying to clear earlier, make sure no one was doing that boost, but you still holding it out. He's going to get the chance towards Oscar. He's going to take it, but can't follow up. 1-for-1 trade comes through. Doesn't really allow Titan any more ground to be gained. And now you're seeing Titan respond accordingly. Going to get some players in towards this A site. Scream and Shock's trying to close down the net. And that bomb is actually on the way.
Oh, Angel there. 2 very, very nice shots coming out from A main there. Really opening things up here as Scream just trying to with futility, tap through that smoke there as well. Akusha coming through. There's Existence though responding. He jumps down from the platform, but smoke still in his way. Towards Angel, who's just been big this round. Very, very good play, but it's a 2v2 now. Existence is low, and there's really not really much in terms of nades from him. That was the last one being thrown in Molotov, and that's actually going to hurt Existence a bit, but still, it's able to draw Sticko out from quad, and that'll be Existence to get the kill. Oh, yeah. Angel.
And RPK then put that down to clear the bomb site, allowing Existence to look around for more. But it is down to Angel, who's done brilliantly already with this round. 3 kills for him, but he's only got 16 seconds. Now RPK's got to know where he is, and Angel's going on that cross. RPK doesn't see it. RPK just holding the angle, waiting for the time. 8 seconds left. He's going for the default plant here. RPK, he's faked it. 4 seconds remaining. He's got no time. RPK, you know it. No, Angel in the last second finds a kill, and RPK caught with his pants down. Means that HellRaisers building up on their T side.
You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't in those situations sometimes as well. I mean, even Angel, the jump across just to make sure he could at least see what was going on there. Stellar round from that man. I mean, even just what he was managing to orchestrate from A main. I think UU was living on the edge a little bit there as well, kind of threw himself away. He did get a kill, mind you, but sitting on the edge of the smoke instead of sort of setting up and watching an angle. We spoke about discipline the round beforehand. It seems like he might have been getting a little bit too big for his boots there.
So Angel going to clear vent with the molly first and foremostly. Let's look at RPK. Going to try and push up a little bit here. I don't think they've seen him cross out, but it looks like Kucha's trying to check this. RPK won't get the drop on them. Schneider stays alive, and Kucha does the real kind of hard work here. Is Titan really struggling to find any sort of kill, and Existence will at least catch out Kucha on B, but Scream's edges way through on A, but he doesn't have the bomb, and already the T side noticed that.
Yeah, the bomb being left back for HellRaisers as well, so they can just take their sweet time about this one. Unfortunate timing there, of course. I think it was from RPK. Unfortunately, he was looking towards Schneider instead of Kucha, who was just really trying to dig him out himself. But 1 kill for them in this round. You can see Oscar actually has picked up the AWP, although he did no damage with it on this occasion. And you have to wonder, Titan starting to fall behind the 8-ball a little bit, maybe feeling that lack of Smiths more than they'd like to admit. It's going to be a B plant here, albeit fairly slow one, as HellRaisers just make sure they checked all their corners before making their way in. You can even see the pre-fire being laid down by Schneider. Scream is well, pretty much just left to his own devices here. He might be playing some Sudoku on the wall or something. Don't look at me like that.
You good?
Noughts and crosses, maybe?
You good?
Tic-tac-toe?
Tic-tac-toe.
Yeah. With himself, so I don't really think it'd be that fun, to be honest, but it's something.
He's trying to catch something on the way out, but I doubt he's going to get much. Considering HellRaisers are barely leaving the B side at the moment. Angel's like looking around T-spawn. Scream's edging towards mid. And it might be Stico to pick him up in the end. He's going to try and catch the rifle, but they're so cautious about this. Scream does get a tag, but not much more. Stico will find it. And a relatively clean round from HellRaisers as well. Something they kind of needed. Kucha going down there, but the rest of them staying alive. So, looking at the board. A risky investment. Oh, well, risky enough. Existence going to go for the AWP purchase here, trying to buck the trend, but Titan seeming a little bit worse for wear, and this is something we've seen in a little bit of a common trend with Titan. SK were able to push them. We saw not too long ago on Cash. It looks somewhat similar now. It's
a very weak map from them, actually, in that occasion. It's funny thing about Scream, you saw him there with a pistol at the end of the round. It's like he limits himself to 1 bullet per second. Any more than that, and he's spraying, and he doesn't want a bar of it. Unfortunately, wasn't able to connect there as well. Yeah, I mean, Titan super uninspiring against SK here, but you can see now HellRaisers actually just going to circumvent mid for the most part. It's actually Stico moving in towards long, and Angel in A main as well, who has just done really, really well at getting those picks on A and opening things up here for HellRaisers. But Scream has moved up into this little boost spot here as well. It might be able to yield 1, maybe more kills if he can. It depends how HellRaisers want to put themselves out onto this one. Schneider was checking that one as well, trying to see the angle. But he wasn't able to really come up with too much at all. And there's Angel as well, trying to make some shots now. Scream doesn't want to go for the knee, or maybe he does. He does get a bit of damage on towards Schneider, but he's given away his position.
And he needs to adjust. Nicely done, just ducking into that smoke there. And just seeing Squeaky close as well. He knows there's 2 players at least by A here. Not sure if he's going to expect the 2 others waiting with that bomb, but he's going to be boosted up well. Going to get the spot towards Angel, but Angel takes his head off. HellRaisers again and again breaking in towards his site. Now they've got to know there's another player on the site. As Scream was boosted to that position, but it's going to be RPK making the most of it. You still there creating that crossfire, but it's just you standing. He goes round towards MPK, picks up the double. Perfect positioning again from this man, showing some real dominance, but ran out of bullets, closing down with that USPS. And for a stand-in, he is doing work.
It's funny, actually, the last games that we've been seeing, the standards have really been outperforming their teammates, and well, UU is no exception at this very moment. It was Scream there, seeming a little bit unsettled on the A side, sort of back and forth, maybe just jumping the gun a little bit early there, maybe nerves, or maybe something else, but UU at least could be depended on by Titan here, and it's a very important round here. They'd hate to go 2-7 with HellRaisers at this point here, and they get one back. And UU doing really, really nicely over on A. Now, buy-wise as well, Kusha's only got that Tech 9 and pretty much no utility. However, the rest of HellRaisers do have a fair few nades in their pockets. They've got those AKs as well, and Existence is persisting to use that AWP.
See how it goes. Shock's going to be flashed a little closer forward. He's going to be met by force by Angel, but he does win on the trade. Backs away, and this is the first time we've seen really Titan getting these opening kills. Normally, they've been losing out on them every now and then, but RPK waiting patiently gets decimated by Kucha, and Existence already receiving a tag.
Yeah, Existence not able to finish up the kill there, and he goes for another poke despite HellRaisers sort of flooding onto that site there. And there's Schneider as well, cleans up. UU Shocks aggressively just pushing himself out towards heaven there. I guess hoping that HellRaisers maybe weren't ready for that one here, but he does get a flash on. Kusha will probably try and plant in the back corner. That's not bad by Shocks, getting himself on the other edge, and he does manage to win that aim battle, a very, very important one, but he's got 2 players still to go through. Molotov there, don't think that was thrown by Shocks at all, maybe a team one. Sticko went low, but Schneider will still be able to finish the job.
Yeah, and this is a really nice T-side from HellRaisers. I still feel Cash is a more even map than most. It's not as CT biased as we're seeing a couple of the others becoming. Especially the likes of Inferno is becoming really CT biased in my eyes. Unless it's seemingly Na'Vi playing it where they can make it look like a T-side map. But, you know, I think this is a good scoreline overall for HellRaisers still, even though you'd say this is still a little more equal. I think they can be pleased with this thus far, but it looks like they're on form to get more. It's only Shocks is able to really buy into this one. The rest of Deagles and Armor, or maybe a CZ, 570, 250, nothing much to work with. And Angel, even going in on that Mag 10, is going to be quite difficult, though they do have the armor. And now, look at the pressure mid. Schneider instantly removes Shocks, and now mid is open. Scream picks up the pieces.
Shocks trying to challenge that one out there against a fully armed HellRaisers, and it's just not going to pay off for him this time. There's Angel on towards Scream, and RPK, well, he's going to be waiting for some sort of push out of mid, but it's just HellRaisers controlling mid right now. There's a smoke towards the CT side of mid, and they're going to push on towards A, and Yu's got himself in A long here, a bit of a different spot. Existence, though, will go down, and it's just the 2v4 situation. That's Yu at least getting one out the door. The potential with that headshot at close range with the P250 can always sort of turn things in your favor in a pinch, but that's probably not the flash he was looking for. He'll still be able to turn it. And he's got an AK in front of him as well. We're tantalizing him. He goes for it, and Oscar makes him pay.
Ballsy play going out. I guess you have to go for it at some point, right? If he'd won that 1v1 as well, whoever... was it Oscar who was close, or was it Angel? I can't remember which one of the two.
I think Oscar was in A main, and Angel was a highways.
That was it. Yeah, so if he'd taken maybe that 1v1 a little earlier, maybe, you know, you always look back at it and you're like, oh, hindsight's 20/20. If he'd won out on that, you never know what could have happened, but anyway. Back into the game. We've got 8-3 on our hands, and you noted earlier that HellRaisers do have some really impressive results on this map. They might be on for another one.
Yeah, it's, you know, you can only read into that so much now with everyone sort of changing and having stand-ins, but yeah, I mean, TSM and Fnatic are amongst the, I guess the deer heads on their wall, if I to go so far and use that analogy. So they've done fairly well in recent times, and that's Schneider opening things up nicely towards Highway. Scream will at least be able to respond at least, but he wants that M4, or the AK, should I say.
The AK.
He'll pick it up. Akusha, though, comes and takes it straight away from no armor, and that's rough with the aim punch coming in, and Existence can't contest either, and HellRaisers just completely forced Titan down.
Nice to see the old ice skating bug is back in GoTV, ladies and gents. Who missed that one? I'm going to lower in the player model, just kind of like skate in.
Yep.
Just Schneider just skating up highway like, hey guys, what's up? Anyway, back into this one. Once again, Titan trying to buy what they can. Trying to just stop the rock, because as you can see, they picked up a couple of rounds here and there, but it's been generally, you know, one player doing some big performances or picking up some really important kills, rather than the whole collective actually operating well. And it looks like they've gone for a stack out in mid this time, trying to switch things up. I guess by this point you have to. So Shock's, Existence, and Scream are focusing down towards mid, but it's you who's going to have to deal with the flood of HellRaisers. Yeah,
a lot of smoke towards mid, but this could get quite messy as Kusha's going to push out of aim, and you ran out of bullets at the worst time possible, and Kusha takes him down. Scream, though, will push through that smoke straight towards quad. He gets one, but he's going to have to back away. There's 4 HellRaisers players right there. He'll make it 3, and Shock's going to be able to get involved as well. It's very messy, but now it's RPK, and Oscar picks him up before we can even see what transpired there. 2 for Sticko, 2 for Oscar, and HellRaisers there just indomitable, aggressively pushing A.
The late trades just went in their favor. You saw the early ones were coming back in. Scream got to a good spot. You know, he held them up. He slowed them down. He allowed those mid-rotates to come in. But Titan just not landing the shots they needed to, not having the presence they had to on towards A, leaving you just by himself. And HellRaisers with a fantastic 6th sense then, almost just heading towards A, completely skipping the pressure that Titan were putting towards mid. And it looks like HR just want to really kind of run this one home, heading straight towards B. RPK's going to fall. He was the last bastion of hope for Titan on that site. Shock's not going to get the deagle straight up, but he does eventually find Schneider. But HellRaisers by this point have taken over the site.
RPK is being punished for aggressively pushing in the checkers as well and checking B main from there. There's always a HellRaisers player there as well, and he's been trying a few different things, getting around the corner behind the boxes, and none have really been working out as well. And it's disappointing to see that sort of same sort of, I guess, issue come up for him here. Titan need him to be really strong, as you said, that bastion of strength on the B side. Because, well, this is what happens otherwise. You're trying to get an AWP shot out, he doesn't actually get tagged up for his trouble. It's going to be a flash behind him, and Angel's going hunting, and he will take him down. And this is HellRaisers looking very, very strong right now. Titan, I don't know, quite muted. And you know what? It's not
really subdued. Yeah,
it's not even Yu as well. I mean, let's look at the scoreboard as well. Yu's playing quite nicely. He's
top fragging for them right now, if I'm not mistaken. But they're going in for the double AWP. Well, all right, Scream, you got some assists, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, looking at this, they are going to go in for the double AWP. Try and maybe switch this up. Wait.
Look at HellRaisers.
Oh, what? At least it's not 5. At least it's not 5. Like, I'm getting used to these games with like 5 AWPs coming out to play, but I want to see if you can do this as well, because of course, Smiths does bring a certain real element with his AWP, but Schneider's going to be caught out with that molly there a little, so I don't think they're fully aware of what sort of damage they're doing, but Yu is certainly keeping up to par at the moment, tagging up one. That's Psycho going down low. But still, HellRaisers have so much utility to work with. Look how many mollies, the smokes, the flashes. They've got a great deal here. And RPK actually switching up as well. He switched up towards mid, but Scream just going to go wild. Walks straight in, Sats hello, picks up 2. And Hell, he's going to challenge out on the 3rd. Skates his way back out towards main, but Oscar, he's not winning that battle.
No way. Now with only 3 orbs left on HellRaisers, it's a little bit tricky when you've only got orbs actually to orchestrate a push on towards the site.
This makes me nervous.
Titan have the bomb.
Yeah, they do, but look at that spam. It's coming right through. Shox was going in on it. And one of these two looks as though they can land it. If Shox got reloaded then a second earlier.
Really? I think it's now ego games really between those two, but we did see Schneider drop down.
To be fair, Oscar's just going to peek normally now. I don't know if he expects you to be watching the angle, but there you go. Shox is going to push up in the end, catch him out, and they will just leave Kucha alive. I
don't know what to make of that round from HellRaisers as well. The triple AWP sort of set up there. I mean, sure. I can understand how you can create entry opportunities like that, but when you only have 3 AWP players, I don't know. But Titan, actually, it was a fairly aggressive investment towards the double AWPs here. Notice that you had nothing. It was glass cannon, no grenades either. So real investment in towards that for Titan there. Obviously, last round and a half, so why not spend your cash there? The HellRaisers will just drop that one here. Here's Scream. I love this aggressive push. This is the big difference. It's the first time we've seen some really aggressive plays coming out from Titan that paid off perfectly. We've seen Shox pushing towards mid a couple of times, but that was a big investment then. There was a sick pop flash as well. They were both flashed, absolutely flashed. So not much they could really have done about that at all here. Halftime, and this is maybe not what we'd expect to see from the Frenchmen. Well, actually, you know what? I don't want to call them Frenchmen anymore because they're more Belgian today than they are French. They've got 3 obviously Belgian players and 2 men from France here. But 4 rounds in the half. HellRaisers with a very, very dominant T side. And Titan need, well, obviously they need to reciprocate here, but they'll have to start with at least winning the pistol. I'm not gonna lie, these HellRaisers are playing really quite well. That's the thing that I'm enjoying at the moment. Their T side was actually really impressive, considering they have a couple of stand-in players. They're still being able to keep up the sort of form that I expect from maybe more of a consolidated team, but let's see what Titan can do on their T side. I'm hoping they've got a little bit more fire to them, because so far it's been a little bit lacking, but already the stacking mid going to come through. A couple of players, maybe 3, I think, boosted up that distance, trying to edge in as well. There we go. And it looks like maybe a 3-2 split towards A, quite possibly, if they go for this. Something that Titan do quite regularly do. These are the choreographed plays I'm talking about, but 4 players here, so a 4-1 split. Yeah, and you can see Angel and Oscar reacted straight away to Schneider seeing the boost over the top. They're starting to hook around here as well, and Schneider's doing well. He's picked up Existence, who, honestly, as much as I talked him up as having improved, been a quiet one for him, and RPK as well. Both of them been a little bit lackluster. But here's Oscar now going, hunting for Shox, but Shox is not going to be caught that easily, not by anyone, and Angel also is going to step up to the plate and have a go. It's a 4v3. Schneider has a flash in the smoke, so does Dicko, so there's nades here for HellRaisers to make something happen, but the bomb is down, and Yu's back in the corner. He has absolutely no backup. He has 41 points of health. Make that 0, as Kucha will get the execute, and that will be the defuse for HellRaisers, and that is really bad news for Titan. This is now turning into a bit of a disaster for them here. They really, really needed this round, but HellRaisers responded really, really well to seeing that push over mid. All Schneider had to do was look, sees 3 heads bob over the boost, and we saw Oscar, and I think it was maybe Angel, just flank straight through mid. Yeah, and if you guys are just tuning in and you're wondering who the standing is, it is Yoons. Currently tagged up as Yu, so we're going to be calling him that just because it's on the scoreboard, but his name is Yoons. He's been kind of playing around that kind of tier 2 marker just so far, but he has actually got some decent results behind him. He's actually been having a fairly decent game as well. However, outside of that, it's been very quiet for Titan. He's going to be stepping in for Smiths, I believe, who's currently been traveling around, but back into the game. Oscar has found Shox. Kucha towards you, and this round has gone rather south for Titan. And it's been a real quick kind of slash and bash there going through. Psycho going to close out on towards Existence, and 2 players falling, but of course nothing to be recovered for Titan. So we're always interested to see how the standing players actually perform on the T side, because as we saw, the way Titan used Yoons was pretty straightforward. Just hold A, you're going to be that dedicated A player, do what you can, stall them out if you can, smoke it, and then hold from quad. But now he has to play on the T side as well, and it looks like at least Titan might use him as a sort of supportive or second line fragger at this stage. He was sort of running with RPK, who had the bomb through long A, and they might actually do that again here. Yep, 3 players in towards A long. Shox is in A main, and Existence is just keeping mid a bit busy, but Oscar has pushed aggressively in.
Alright, let's see what they can do. Oscar's going to catch out Existence, but it's not the end of the world, but it will certainly force the hand of Titan, who are going to start pouring out, but they do overwhelm one. Kucha does 4, but Schneider with the triple coming in. Shox finally stops him, but he's in a 1v3. I don't know if he can even get that gun without some trouble, as Oscar vigilantly looking out. 1 minute left. Bomb to hand. Shox has to fight the challenge here. He's got it. He's taken down Oscar. He gets another. Shox on the 3K. Molly comes in. He's got to be so careful. He catches Angel, but he can't get the shot. And HellRaisers get another one on the board.
Well, a little bit of Shox magic definitely is handy to have for Titan, but if it's not enough to clutch around here and they're too away from losing it, that's really just not enough. It's just kind of the icing on a cake that hasn't even been made yet. It's just icing, actually. Just eat it straight out the tube, and really doesn't make you feel that good, especially afterwards as well. You're feeling a bit sick, but Titan now, of course, got a heck of a lot to make up here. They've at least been able to cobble together a bit of a buy. Shox only has the AK and armor here. It's probably all he really needs, to be honest. Titan, we struggle to really make some inroads here. I expect to see... I was going to say I expect to see work towards A-Long again, and I guess they did that, but they just got absolutely smashed down. Yu and Shox just hit the deck now, and Scream is trying to just do it out with Sticko. He's there, and damn, HellRaisers with some confidence coming forward here. Seems like they're more than happy to take these aim tools, and they're just beating Titan every time. 1-to-1, pound for pound, they're definitely looking the better team.
Yeah, they really are, and... it's great to see HellRaisers looking confident enough to go aggressive and kind of picking up this pace, because on paper you'd never see this sort of scoreline coming through. You maybe guess at a close game. HellRaisers having some great results on this map, but Schneider having a blinder as well, really helping them out. But outside of that, it's been everyone playing well for HellRaisers. So now looking at what Titan have coming into this round, it's not a great deal. Now, they can work with it, but it looks like an all-in play towards A. HellRaisers already pushing back. They don't want to take this fight too up close and personal. We saw what Shox can do with that Tech 9, but still.
They left A open for the retake here as well. It's just Kusha holding from truck. They actually put 2 players in mid to try and, I don't know, maybe take Titan by surprise, but Existence actually has turned this one around to him. He's taken down 2 as well. Angel and Schneider go down. Bomb is down at A. 3 players are there. Scream is actually in A main here, ready to receive Sticko, and 1 bullet's all he really needs, but he's not connecting him at this stage. Oh, that headshot ratio was just decreasing bit by bit.
Yeah, just Shox and Yoon's left alive, so they could do something here. They're in good angles, and actually, Yoon's going to take the fight towards Psycho. This is down to a 2v2. Look at this. Shox waited patiently. He's going to get it. It's down to just Kucha, and this is looking more and more likely for Titan. And even against the odds, they've managed to scrape around together. And sure, you will go in for the kind of buy time and just throw himself into the fire, as there we go. Titan finally get around on the board.
Yeah, a great start for them as well. I mean, it could have gone a lot worse if HellRaisers actually had a stronger A presence there. It was just Kucha sitting at truck, so they were going for something in mid, but mid was so smoked out that I think it was Existence managed to push through, get 1, and then get Schneider as well, as he was on the top of the slanted roof. So HellRaisers didn't really have the best response there, but here's Sticko picking up the AUG. Hala Snacks. Was it Neo? Wasn't it? Yeah, remember that. That was interesting. That mean, isn't it the first couple shots are 100% accurate?
I think the first shot is almost 100% accurate. But someone did like a recent video on the recoil pattern. It's actually pretty deadly, but Angel's going to kick this one off well for HellRaisers, fighting the first frag here. Now, Titan have to play from a little bit of a deficit. 1 minute and 20 seconds to work it out. Nice little smoke just to keep Schneider guessing. And Shox and Scream maybe looking to work towards A, but they're keeping their options open. Bomb is still pretty far back. They've not really committed anywhere. The flash coming out, and actually RPK could be called off. Look how low he already is, 18 HP.
Already without Yu as well, Titan just have to draw themselves together and make another push here. It's a bit of spray coming through here, and RPK catching Sticko with a little bit of it, but he's going hunting here, COD style, with that AUG. And Scream has the bomb at Schneider, holding mid beautifully, takes down Existence at RPK, and then Shox is not far away as well. And this is just Scream left with the AWP and the bomb, and a heck of a lot of rounds to win. And being on the last round, of course, here, if HellRaisers can take this one out here, it's all but done. And Titan staring down the barrel of a massive upset. All
right, Scream, let's see what you've got. Not a lot. Schneider's going to close down, and HellRaisers pick up the win. Great stuff from them here. Not the result I expected. Bearing in mind, we said today that there's so much to be achieved for HellRaisers. If they start getting these wins in, they haven't played that many games in the ESL ESEA Pro League. So actually, picking up one over Titan now is the perfect start for today.
That's right, and we said potentially, ideally, if they win 3 games here, they can really start to move up the rankings. Finals qualification, It's possible, but again, not really what we're thinking of at this stage. Baby steps, Lauren.
Now, you might say Penta could certainly be another target they could look towards after this first performance, but then they do have Na'Vi later. So you guys at home, if you want to get all your facts straight, if you want to get all your information in line, head over to theScore eSports and check out all of that. It's available on the iOS and all of that good stuff. It's all there. It's all ready for you guys to pick up if you want to get that little bit of information and a little bit more background to these teams as well and keep up to date with all the scores. So well and worth truly getting involved on. But I don't know. This could be a big day for HellRaisers now. I'm very curious to see what they can bring. Now, Penta coming up next, another team who's been having a little bit of a shoddy season, to say the least. They're certainly down towards the bottom. This is another big game for them and HellRaisers.
It's within their capability. That's the thing. We saw their train match against Na'Vi actually be very, very strong for Penta here.
Surprisingly.
And that was their first match of the season. They didn't even play a game until week 5. So they had 5 weeks off. Obviously, with the additions of Spitty and Tarsin coming across there, Killerfish and Mousesports. They're in the mix now as well. Again, they want to stay out of that relegation zone as much as they possibly can.
That's the big factor, and it's certainly going to be on the horizon if they don't pick up their performance with guys. That's going to be after the break, so do stay tuned.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Intel Extreme Masters. Delta Tubbs babysitting against it. Oh, it's beautiful. Exists. 2 kills could never be so important. He's gonna go for it behind the fountain. Kerrigan's just gonna charge him down. He's gonna miss quite a few pistol shots. Kenny F, he won a kill, and then he gets the second. Kenny F punches around.